Attacking this bear was a big mistake. Even the numerical advantage of these wolves did not help them. He saves strength. To counterattack, the bear just needs to turn around to the enemy. And the wolves have to circle and dodge the crushing blows of the bear. But sooner or later, the giant would run out of strength, so he breaks into the forest. The bear uses trees as shelters, which do not allow wolves to surround him. The pack has to retreat. We will show other cases when the animals gave an impressive rebuff to the enemies despite the circumstances. The leopard caught the ungulate and dragged the prey up a tree. The problem is that in doing so, he caught the eye of a lion. A huge and powerful predator considers this territory its own and is against any neighborhood, not only with other lions, but also with any predators in general. The lion wants to take away a newly hard-earned lunch from a spotted distant relative, so he rushes to him and climbs a tree after the leopard. After all, both species are feline, they are nimble, and have retracted claws that retain their sharpness. Thanks to this, the lion is really good at climbing trees. Not as elegant as a leopard, but you've got to admit, not bad. He thinks that he can not only take away the prey from the opponent, but also deal with him himself, because he has 3 times more weight and superiority in strength. But the lion underestimated the enemy. The leopard is not going to fight with the lion, he just climbs higher. Moreover, the spotted cat climbs up not from the very beginning, but when the lion has almost grabbed its prey at the very last moment. This is not an accident. The leopard lures the lion higher because a large mass also means that the lion will not be able to climb the thinnest branches of the tree. And the leopard could. Besides, his strength should not be underestimated either. He easily dragged his prey to this height. The lion is shocked but cannot reach the victim. In addition, he got carried away. He climbed high, and it is already more difficult for him to get off without the agility of a leopard. Have you ever been at a high altitude? The longer you stay up there, the scarier it gets. The lion was able to climb down from the tree without any serious damage, but he remained hungry. The leopard saved his prey and taught the enemy a lesson. Horses can be very aggressive. In the wild, stallions often fight for leadership in the herd and do not hesitate to use dangerous techniques against the opponent. They strike so hard with their hooves that they can break through a thin wall. And a horse bite can cause terrible pain because their teeth are ground and not cut off plants. That's why the pressure of their jaws is so strong. Getting into such a vice is a bad prospect. This stallion is well aware of his capabilities and wants to show the camel that he is in charge here. But the camel has other plans. This animal seems phlegmatic, clumsy, and meek against the background of a fast and impetuous stallion. But this is not the case. In fact, the camel just does not like to fuss. In reality, his strength corresponds to his huge size. He shows the horse who's in charge here. But pay attention. The camel really behaves surprisingly peacefully. He not only gives the stallion an impressive rebuff, but also immobilizes him so that he cools down a little bit. To do this, the camel knocks down the opponent and just lies on top of him. Due to the superiority in mass, this is enough to keep an angry stallion on the ground. In addition, the camel managed to immobilize the opponent in such a way that the horse could not reach either with its teeth or hooves. Look at the calm expression on the camel's face and the angry stallion. The humpback herbivore seems to be saying, "Why are you starting? Lie down, calm down. Then we'll discuss everything." For the proud stallion, a more insulting defeat, because the opponent did not even have to use dangerous techniques and only the mass was enough to win. But the aggressor understood the lesson, calmed down, after which the camel really immediately let him go. The nobility of a camel is worthy of your life, wouldn't you say? Foxes are smart and cunning predators who like to live in burrows, but do not like to dig them. This young couple decided to get a new family nest in the most typical way for foxes. to take it away from the previous owner who dug the hole. Except the foxes didn't run into some kind of a rodent, but a badger. It's a bad idea to mess with them, and now the foxes will understand why. At first, the red robber rushes at the enemy with a boldness that would command respect from his larger relative, the wolf. But then the fox realized that he had made a mistake. The badger gave an impressive rebuff. After all, he is a relative of the honey badger and the wolverine. And although in normal circumstances badgers do not show aggression and can even cooperate with foxes, these squat and stocky animals will react quite coolly to an attempt to take away their home from them. The badger's hide is very durable, and although its compact body is much smaller than that of a nimble fox, the squat silhouette gives its advantages. It is easier for the badger to counterattack. He responds to attempts to grab at the throat with painful and unpleasant bites right in the fox's face. And the redhead won't let up. Having been punched in the face, he still returns for another portion of punches. And apparently he does not want to embarrass himself in front of his female. He can be understood, but the badger has amazing stamina and knocks the fox out of its hole. Only when the female and male join forces, they manage to expel the badger. But still, this little baby not only survives after a battle with two larger predators, but also remains intact. You cannot say that about the foxes. Perhaps the badger gave them a hole out of pity so that they could lick their wounds there. Usually, only male lions fight for leadership in the pride. The leader protects his status, territory, and cubs, and the intruder tries to displace and expel him, well, or bite his throat. But there was no duel here. The young lion got involved with the wrong pride. Instead of going out to a one-on-one duel, everyone attacked the intruder. Both males and females attacked the alien. He is in shock and managed to receive several heavy blows to the muzzle from both lionesses and lions. We must pay tribute to him. A young, aggressive, and strong lion managed to fend off several predators and even stood up to them. But of course, there is no chance of winning. The battle looks impressive. Blows flash by, a roar is heard for miles, claws and fangs keep getting to the target, but so far without any fatal consequences. The stranger learned a painful lesson and went on the run, and the pride is chasing him. He did not expect such a reception, but now he will definitely remember this place and will never return here again. The defense proved to be very effective. Why do you think, in other cases, lionesses do not come out with male lions to protect the pride altogether? Let us know in the comments. Any kind of hyena is dangerous with its strong paws, but the striped one is probably the coolest. Her jaws are especially strong, and her size allows her to compete on equal terms one-on-one with leopards and young lionesses. This hyena noticed an armadillo that was looking for something tasty. The predator lunged forward. She is confident in her abilities. The victim is still young, and if she manages to curl up into a ball, the hyena's powerful fangs will open her armor. And if he doesn't make it, so much the better. But the battleship, instead of going into a blind defense, broke into a run and tried to retreat. The hyena was already celebrating victory at that moment because the battleship would not ever be able to break away from such a pursuer. But the predator did not realize that the armadillo was not running in a panic in a random direction at all. He has a plan. Suddenly, he stops and does a somersault. The hyena does not understand what is happening. Does the armadillo twist into a ball on the run? She jumps on the prey and raises a whole cloud of dust. And when it settles, the hyena is alone. Has the armadillo disappeared? Is he a magician? Or a ninja who can disappear in a cloud of smoke? Well, the animal has a lot of tricks. His hole turned out to be here. From the side, it is almost impossible to notice it. No mounds or bumps, just a little hole in the ground, designed exactly to fit the dimensions of the battleship. The large hyena has no chance to get in there, and the hyena will not be able to dig it out with its thin paws. It was not necessary to underestimate this opponent.